The new Korean series Squid Game has been a smash hit on a global scale. This first season has been full of surprising twists, and the season finale has left us with a lot of questions. Why didn't Gi-hun use any of the prize money for over a year? But more interesting than that, why did he finally decide to spend it after meeting the old man? Today, I'll be trying to answer these questions. Watch until the end. I'll tell you something about the frontman known only in Korea. Are you ready? Welcome to Alex and Raj. Before I tell you my thoughts on the ending of Squid Game, let's talk about a potential Season 2 and what we can expect from it. As of now, Netflix has not made an official statement, but due to the global success of the series, it's almost certain a second season will be confirmed shortly. It's interesting to think about what we'll see in the upcoming episodes. We can expect the plot to focus on Gi-hun's attempt to stop the criminal organization with his now massive wealth. However, let's not forget the last-second phone call with the organization's voice telling Gi-hun to get on the plane. This detail tells us that the organization keeps a close eye on game winners, along with anyone else that decides to take advantage of the contract's third clause and leave the game. Remember that the frontman gave orders to keep a close eye on anyone that decided to leave the game permanently. Because of this, I'm convinced that it's going to have very interesting consequences in a potential second season, even though I still expect, and hope, to see more of the games that have kept us glued to our screens during this first season. Now it's time I tell you my thoughts on this season's finale. One of the things I was really impressed by was Gi-hun's growth and change during the series. At the beginning of the series, even though he had serious economical issues and was under pressure by loan sharks, he was a seemingly simple and funny person. We saw him joke around with his daughter, have a chat with Sang-woo's mom, and talk with the other players. Upon leaving the game, however, his character changed completely. He became sad and silent, deeply scarred by this nightmarish experience. But why didn't Gi-hun use any of the money that he won for over a year? He only decides to start spending it after meeting the old man. What was it about that encounter that changed his mind? To understand this choice, we need to take a step back and think about Gi-hun's character arc throughout the game. It was clear from the start he was different from the others, in particular because of his great altruism, which was hinted at during the first episode when he gave up a bit of fish to feed a hungry cat. This brings him to bond more with the weaker-looking players and the underdogs of the group, like the old man, which he takes care of. His kind soul, however, is put to the test during the game of marbles, in which, to try to survive, he reluctantly decides to deceive the old man. In what is arguably the most beautiful scene in the entire series, moments before time runs out, the old man reveals that he knew he was being deceived, but gives him his last marble anyway so he could win. This episode deeply scars the protagonist, who feels responsible for the death of his dear friend. The old man is in fact the only player to be eliminated because of his direct action. Let's remember that during the last game, Gi-hun was ready to leave the game in order to save his childhood friend, even though Sang-woo had been all but fair during the previous games. I think that his feelings of guilt for having caused the death of his friend is the main reason he doesn't spend even a single won of prize money. His childhood friend's suicide and what the frontman says to him in the car also have a deep effect on him. The latter would be the moment he and the other players are compared to horses on which to bet on. This makes him understand that all those people died meaningless deaths, making him deeply disgusted at all those blood-stained wands. This is the show's main metaphor. Modern society is competitive to the point where the individual is totally annihilated and is no longer considered a person. When he sees his old friend Il-nam and learns that he is one of the game's organizers, he is freed from the guilt that was tormenting him. Furthermore, before he dies, the old man asks Gi-hun to play one last game with him, betting that no one will come to help the homeless drunk before midnight, proving to him that he can't trust others. This is a clear reference to the other players' behavior during the game, even by Gi-hun during the marble game. Since he wasn't the cause of anyone's death, Gi-hun is freed from the weight of his guilt and takes control of his life. This is clearly expressed through his new hairstyle, which he dyes a bright red, and a new suit we've never seen him wear. These elements clearly indicate Gi-hun's will to start over. But before traveling to go find his beloved daughter, he settles some unfinished business, helping Kang Se-byuk's brother and his childhood friend's mother. But why does he turn back and walk away from the plane just a few steps before boarding? The reason is definitely tied to his encounter with a potential new player. In that moment, Gi-hun realized that the games weren't a one-time event, but were being held periodically. I think that just as he is about to board the plane, he remembered about his bet with the old man and understood that if no one stops the organization, there will be many more pointless deaths in the name of entertainment. Let's move on to another interesting aspect of the first season's finale that I think could have important implications in the next episodes in case a next season is confirmed. I'm referring to the police officer who has infiltrated the organization. Among the twists present in this first season of Squid Game, one of the most surprising is the reveal of the frontman's identity, who turns out to be the missing brother of Jun-ho. A first important detail is that the frontman doesn't seem intent on killing his brother. In fact, when he sends his soldiers to look for him, he clearly specifies that he wants him alive. Moreover, when he talks to his brother, he tries in every way to convince him to cooperate. But the most important thing is the fact that when the situation degenerates, the frontman intentionally shoots him in the shoulder, obviously not to kill him instantly, even though throughout the series we've seen that he didn't hesitate to shoot others in the head. I think therefore that Jun-ho is actually still alive, having found some way to survive. However, he definitely lost his phone and all the evidence he collected. But if during the series finale a year has passed and the game has started again and he really is still alive, what happened to him? I will certainly make videos dedicated to more detailed theories. Back to talking about the frontman. I have a very interesting theory, and to tell you about it, I must point out some details regarding the frontman. Do you remember that when he found the shell of the bullet fired by the infiltrator, he immediately realized that it came from a weapon used by the South Korean police? Surely, just this is enough to cast doubt on his true identity. In addition, when confronted with his brother, he makes some interesting observations. Hardly anyone who hasn't worked inside the police force would be privy to this information. But brace yourselves, because what I'm about to tell you could make sense of it all and could also be an incredible clue as to what we'll find out in the next season. When Jun-ho finds his brother's file among the participants of a previous edition of the game, the contents of the document are not translated, but I imagined that there might be some very interesting information inside. So I translated the text of that image, and I discovered that the frontman, before participating in the game, was also a policeman. In addition, by consulting some Korean forums, I found out that his position in the police was also quite important. It could be, however, that he's an infiltrator with the aim of dismantling the organization at its roots, starting with the higher-ups. Why would an ex-winner participate in such events that even he deemed macabre and unfair? Answers to these questions will surely get to us with the next season. However, if you guys have other opinions on the matter, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Alright, we're done with this one. In my opinion, we've covered the most interesting aspects of the end of the first season of Squid Game. I hope you guys appreciated the video, and if so, please leave a thumbs up, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to turn on notifications to know what's going to happen in the next season of Squid Game. I'm sending you all a great big hug. See you in the next video. Bye!